Hello friends, today you're going to take this large flat circle and turn it visually into a sphere. It's a trick of the eye, it's an optical illusion that we can create with value, lights and darks. So making something appear as it is a form instead of a shape is easy if you just know some tricks. So one trick is, let's mix a light gray with mostly white and just a tiny hair of black, and sweep it across what is going to be the light side of our moon later on. You might find in paint that white, at least the paint we have at school, white is not the strongest. So whatever you want to make light, you use lots of white and just a little bit of the other color. So light gray is going to be just the slightest tinge of black. And remember also, now that you've been painting with this light color, a lot of it is going to be in the bristles of your brush. So to make a darker gray, you're going to use just a little bit more black on the other half of your palette with white. Notice I'm trying to keep some black and some white also. So you kind of have those four sections on your palette, and you're roughly splitting your moon in half with a curved line between the dark side and the light side. It's going to be kind of like a half moon effect. I'm noticing now that my paintbrush bristles are full of light gray paint. It's hard to get a little bit darker, but we're going to want to have it all evenly brushed so that there's a gradual change from light to dark anyway. So it's okay to do lots of blending and for there to be a very small difference between the dark and the light right now. So I'm going to get some of that paint out of my bristles with a paper towel. No reason to use water. Our cardboard will get very soggy if we use too much paint, and especially if we use any water. We don't want to have too thick of paint. We want to keep this as thin as possible. So now that my brush is clean, I'm going to add that little highlight spot. That's the brightest area where light is shining directly. And that might be a spot that gets a little bit more layer. And then I'm gonna let it blend out into the lighter gray side of my sphere. I'm gonna clean off my bristles again and get some dark black to add the core shadow just opposite of that highlight. So it's kind of like a one-eyed monster with a dark smile. And that I try to keep that part of my sphere as dark as possible. And this is the point where if you walk far away from it, it might start to look a little bit more three-dimensional. So remember, when you're on a large planet, you almost can't tell when it's getting dark at night because it's so gradual. So imagine yourself walking across this moon, and we want it to be that gradual from daytime to night, just barely changing as you go from the brightest time of day, like high noon, over to the darkest time of night. So now you see me adjusting and blending. And remember also that we don't want to add too many layers at this point. If you're not getting what you want, it's time to let it dry. And we can always go back in with some of our other tools we're using for this project and enhance its darkness and its lightness. And we will be adding texture too. So this is just kind of a playful first go at making a sphere. We do not need this to look realistic. And they'll all look different. My cardboard has warped a little bit with the paint that I've infused, but have fun.